Welcome, everybody, to We're High and Empowered. It's high and empowered, but today I have to say it's hot. So I had to get mighty high to start the day. I had to do my regimen differently. I couldn't really smoke early this morning. I didn't have time, so I was doing some edibles, and the edibles have got me on a really interesting ride. They're made of pectin, and they dissolved very quickly. So because they dissolved very quickly, I seem to be a little higher than usual, but that's because of the edibles. So I want to say hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today's show, we're going to be talking about loyalty. Now, not just any kind of loyalty, but loyalty in the cannabis community, in the cannabis industry, from its patients, its customers, its legacy players, to the corporation. And of course, from the corporation, loyalty and love back to its consumers. And we know in a lot of parts, this is a very uh, delicate subject because there isn't a lot of loyalty out there. I mean, as far as from the consumer side, there is. Consumers in cannabis are very loyal to their brands, very similar to how they were loyal to their individual dealers in the gray area marketplace. When we used to buy cannabis, gray area marketplace, before medical and somewhat recreational and the onset of rescheduling, we would buy from one or two different individuals. Why? Because, of course, it was illegal, is illegal. It was hard to get a hold of. It was hard to get good quality. So you wouldn't trust a lot of different people. Instead, you would learn to trust one person, two people. That's it. Especially when it came down to quality. It's all about quality. When we were buying years ago on the gray area market, or even, not too long ago, buying on the gray area marketplace, you're only dealing with one or two different people. You're not dealing with 5, 6, 7, 8 different choices of people. In the medical cannabis market and the recreational cannabis market, you have choices. Here in Florida, and you can tell it's Florida because I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I've got like 4 fans blowing at me. I've got ice that's melting in front of me. I've got cold drinks. No matter how I'm prepared, it is still way too hot. I want to say we're at least in the 90s, and I'm in a metal box. So we'll see how long we can come to you. Hopefully the phone doesn't overheat. But here in Florida, we have 27, 28 different options. And soon, with the release of a few more licenses, we could foreseeably have 40 different operators here in the state of Florida. So loyalty is a big deal. But what exactly is loyalty? And this is something I wanted to kind of touch on. So loyalty in the cannabis community and industry is a multifaceted concept. It encompasses various aspects of trust, support, commitment, among its consumers and businesses, stakeholders. This is something I don't usually normally talk about, but trust from them and the loyalty they have towards an individual brand. So you have brand loyalty, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. You have product loyalty. You have community loyalty and community engagement within that loyalty. Business and industry loyalty. So this is a big one. You have, from the business side, you have supplier and partner loyalty. You have employee loyalty, advocacy and activism, and the loyalty for your community through that. Now, so we're going to be talking about quite a few different things. Loyalty encompasses so many different factors. I want to keep it simple, and I want us to define it. I want to talk about what loyalty in the cannabis industry really is, where it's coming from. So I really feel it comes from the legacy marketplace. We are all legacy. If we've been in cannabis for a while, we've all bought from the gray area illegal marketplace. Oh, excuse me, I'm just sweating profusely over here. The heat is just insane. So wherever you are and you're dealing with the heat, I feel for you. I understand. It is hot, super hot. Okay, let's get back to it. Loyalty. I may drift off a bit today because it's hot. And we're not just talking loyalty today. We're also going to be rolling a joint. I'm going to show you how to roll a joint using a dollar bill. Remember, this is our virtual smoke session. This is our virtual, hey, let's get together, let's chit chat, let's learn something new. So if you didn't know how to do it before, you're going to learn how to do it today. You're going to learn how to roll a joint using a semi-crisp dollar bill. And so we'll get into that in just a little while. We're going to talk about what we're smoking today, which is I've got some Super Boof. We've got some Diesel Delight. We have some hash burger. So excited about the hash burger. I have Orange Bowl pre-rolls. Wow. So much happening over here. Let me see, which one is this? This is the truffle, this one right here. Let me see, single source live rosin. Beautiful stuff. Comes from these guys right over here. Isn't that awesome? So that's a truffle aloha. Truffle aloha. Delicious. It's been light, and at the end of it, you can almost taste like truffle. Very light, fruity truffle. So maybe like a white truffle on the end of this vape. And look, you can see how clean and clear that is. Really gorgeous, really beautiful. I'm really pleased with the Ideal brand through through their offerings. It's that single source solvent rosin. That's the way to go. That's what you want to smoke. You don't want to really smoke distillates. You want to smoke clean, you want to smoke clear. And I was shopping over at Goldflower, and one of their brands is Ideal. Wow. Let me just take a moment here just to collect. This is high and empowered. Smoke them if you got them. If you have, smoke. Again, today we're going to be learning how to roll using a dollar bill. We're going to talk about loyalty in the cannabis industry, the challenges and opportunities that it has, looking forward for jobs and the cannabis industry, and what bud tenders can really bring to the future of this industry, to the future of not just the education, not just its salesmanship, but its finesse, its artistic approach. So we're going to be chit-chatting about that a bit today as well. And when it comes to loyalty, we're going to talk about loyalty from the company back to the consumer. But just in a little while, I want to teach you guys how to roll using a dollar bill. That to me is going to be really exciting, because in case you can't do a hand roll, and my hand rolls look like a pregnant cow. It's the most terrible thing in the world. Wait, quick break again. This is live rosin, and this is truffle aloha. You see how light that is? It's gentle. I put it on a low temperature. This way, I'm not choking. I'm letting the cannabinoids assimilate into my system properly. So instead of just blowing my brain out or burning all the cannabinoids in this vape at a high temperature, I do it at a low temperature. I also do the same thing with my Puffco Proxy. So the Proxy, I set at the lowest temp. And today, we're going to be also trying, just wanted to show it off. I had it in the freezer. I believe this is the hash burger. Is it? It could be. I don't know. Yes, this is hash burger, also from Ideal through Goldflower. And I'm going to be trying this in just a little while. It's still cold. Really excited about putting that in the Proxy. So this is a live rosin batter. Oh, and it looked beautiful. Looked beautiful. So we've got that. We're going to be, again, I said, rolling a joint with a dollar bill. We're going to be talking about some other items as well. In front of me here, I have a Puffco Plus, which is also for concentrates. I want to talk about concentrates. I want to talk about easy ways to do them, because we don't need a blowtorch. We don't need a big glass rig. We don't need a whole setup and get up and, to do. The reason I'm showing the Puffco Plus is because I have a Proxy. My Proxy, it's relatively expensive. These things are not cheap, and a lot of people can't afford those. But the Puffco Plus can do, again, Puffco does not back me. I just love their products. The Puffco Plus can do a lot of what the Proxy can do at a much lower price point. No, it's not going to be as smooth. It won't be as nice. But for the price point, you're going to be able to enjoy a lot of the same concentrates, microdosing, regimens, doing them in small amounts. So anyways, let's get to rolling that joint. Oh, wait, I got a little sugar over here. I'm always talking about the combination, talking about cannabis and health. And what do I do today? I'm drinking I don't even know what it is. It's like a mocha chocolate ice cream fudgy. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's so hot, and I'm drinking like a milkshake over here on the side, but I do have tea. So I'm like 50% healthy. And from what I heard, tea isn't the healthiest thing in the world either. But these days, nothing is healthy. Okay. Finally, I got a paper off. Okay, we're just going to show it. This right here is a rolling paper. So remember, you're going to want the sticky end facing you. So if you can see that in the camera, you can't, that's fine. Sticky end facing you. So let's just put that to the side. Okay, now, in order to roll with a dollar bill, first you're going to need a paper and a dollar bill. Now, you want one that's not overly crisp, that's been used a little bit. You see how that's got a little bend in this one? So I just kind of run it along the table here to make sure it's just straightened up just enough. And then I take, let me just make sure my paper doesn't run away on me. So I have fans blowing, and of course, my luck, the paper will take off. It'll take 30 minutes for me to get another one out. Okay, now I take the dollar bill, and I'm going to make a boat. Look at this. Here we go. I wonder if I can show this right. So from the bottom part of the dollar bill, do you see how I'm boating it? So I'm giving an area, much like you see those rolling machines when you open it up and it has a little boat area to put in your cannabis. So that's it. I'm making a boat. And people ask, well, how much should I break up? Well, if you can see this lovely little nug right there, I'd say about that size. So if you break up that amount, that should be enough to lay a nice thin boat. Again, using the dollar bill, pre-broken up some goodies over here. So I'm rolling what most would consider a pinner. A pinner is a very thin joint. This way, I don't smoke too much. You know, I can put it out and maybe light it later or take it apart and put it in my pipe. Either way, I leave myself options. I'm not wasting product. So you'll see it right there, the cannabis. And I'm just evening. It's too hot. It's frying my brain. I'm just going to even it out a little bit. If anything fell out, I'll pick it up and I'll plop it back in. So I do a quick evening out. I leave it in a boat format. Everything keeps falling out. Look, normally I do it, nothing falls out. It's so neat and nice. And right now, nothing is neat and nice. When you're live on camera, everything changes. Okay, so I've gotten everything in there. I've evened it out so that there are no big gaps or anything of that nature. And the sticky side facing me, I'm going to put it in the dollar bill, running it along the backside of the dollar bill. So if you can see what I'm doing there, if you can't see, I'm trying to explain it as much as possible. So with the boat that I created, if you see right there, I put the paper in to the back side of the dollar bill with the sticky side on top facing me. And you see what I did there? So now the paper, I give a quick lick, not to the dollar bill, but to the paper. And you continue to just kind of push it up. So you'll use both your thumbs and hold it from the back side. And you can just kind of gently push up. And then voila, you have a hand roll. Easy, simple way to roll a decent joint that's not going to run on you, that will have a good, decent pull to it. And yeah, there you go. Rock and roll. So in honor of me rolling this lovely little joint of Super Boof, Super Boof is, so okay, it's Black Cherry Punch and Tropicana cookies. It's an indica. It's an indica. I don't normally smoke indicas. So if I start talking slow on today's show, you know why. So let's just do this. So what I do, normally I just pinch the ends of the joint after I finish rolling it. I pinch the ends, and when I'm ready to smoke, I just open up one of the ends, like so. Just give it a quick unravel. And when I unwrap, do I not have a lighter? It is so hot in here. Oh, don't know how I'm doing this today. This weather in Florida only gets hotter. And it's not really totally summer yet, but I'm going to say it's been summer in Florida for months. That's how it feels. It feels like summer all the time here. I think we get like 2 weeks of winter and then right back to summer. But when it's cold, it's a bone-chilling cold that we wish for summer again. I don't think we ever wish for summer. I don't. Anyways, so we like this super boof up. Mm. So the other end has. Oh boy, I really went to town on that, didn't I? So let's just give it a little extra lighty light. Let that burn through a moment. It's got a heck of a cherry on it, doesn't it? Okay, so we just learned how to roll, and we're going to smoke some other stuff in just a little while and talk about the Puffco Plus. We're going to talk about the Puffco Proxy with some of that hash burger. We're going to talk about this lovely truffle aloha. You can tell I'm enjoying things today. Today's enjoy. It's so hot. I got to enjoy some product today. But I think that's also loyalty. So loyalty also comes down to quality. I think we show. All right. So on the illegal marketplace, when you're only dealing with one or two people, our loyalty really comes from people's quality. So I had this one guy. Oh, that is delicious. It is fruity. That is like, I could taste plum. I could taste like maybe the hint of cherry. Just so you know, I'm checking out this lovely pre-roll I just did. Not pre-roll, I pre-rolled it. I just pre-rolled it in front of you. So that wouldn't really be a pre-roll. It's a roll. I just did a rolly roll. Rolly, oli, oli. So that's really delicious. That hits. You could feel that almost immediately as you inhale that. It's an indica, but very body. Very body. It's just like, oh, oh, oh. Okay, moving on. So loyalty is quality. I had this one guy, tough, mean. I'd show up at his house. He had these two really big pit bulls, at least, or bulldogs or whatever. They were like strong. The dogs had muscles. They were standing out. One would stand outside the house, one would be inside the house. And when you pull up, the first dog would alert him that somebody's there. And then the second dog would come out, and then you don't get out of your car. Until he'd come out and wave you in. So you'd get out of the car, and the dogs would just sit there, and they'd watch you, and their head would move, and you're like scared shitless. Then I'm getting in his house. He'd be like, sit there. And you're like, I mean, and he was a pretty big guy, not big enough where I couldn't take him. I probably couldn't. I don't know. I don't think I could. But in that, you know, he tough guy, tough attitude. And he'd put down 2 or 3 different types, and he's like, all right, they're all the same price, pick one. And you pick one, it was always the best shit. It was always amazing. Like you'd open the bag and be like, oh, wow. I mean, just skunky and or diesely or gassy or cheesy. That's what I remember from this guy. Skunky, diesely, gassy, cheesy. That was just the smells that dealer represented in his cannabis. I had one guy, his cannabis smelled like curry. I don't know where that came from, but it was really good weed. So anyways, I'd go to this guy, and it was always an uncomfortable thing because I'd have to drive really far to get to him. Actually, no, that's not even true because the other guy had to drive even further. So I had to drive decently far, at least like 45 minutes to get there. And that's not far, but it would stress you out on the way back. The drive there, you're never stressed out. But you can tell it's fresh weed. That shit goes right out. And that's a decent roll. It's not running. It's not boating. It's not canoeing. Lovely. That's a hand roll. It's nice. That's a little pinner. It's a quickie. So I'd go to this guy's house and I'd pick up weed, and he'd make me smoke with him, which is fine. I mean, it's not like you had to pull my leg or anything. I'd smoke with him. We would smoke, and then I'd leave. Well, the problem was now I had 45 minutes super high on his good shit that I had to drive home. So the stress would kick in. The anxiety, the PTSD, I'm going to get pulled over. Oh my God, I'm going to ruin things and I'm going to get fired. You name it. The questions go crazy in your head and you drive yourself crazy. And then you get home. Anyway, so I would smoke more weed and then I have to go back and pick up more again. So I really wish I had delivery back then from certain people. But that being said, He acted rude, had mean dogs. I felt like my life was in jeopardy. I felt like it was a dangerous situation driving home. Oh, that was a good hit. So I felt like it was a dangerous situation driving home, and I finally got home, and I'm overly stressed out about the situation. But the guy had amazing cannabis. That's where my loyalty came in. I had another guy. I had to drive twice as far, and I had three people, three solid all the time. But I had to drive twice as far. It was really good weed. And I would wait like 2 hours. He would leave, be like, here, give me the money. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean, give you the money? He's like, give me the money. I'll go pick it up. I'm like, what is this kind of bullshit? Give you the money. You're going to go pick it up. You should already have this. It's not like I've got to come over, give you money. You go pick it up. You take out your chunk, and then you bring it back to me, whatever. But that's how it was. And I would do this because of the quality of what I was getting. I mean, the quality for the price. It wasn't the best price, but it was the best price for this quality. You would not find this quality anywhere. Kind of like what I'm smoking now. Good shit. So, you'd get great quality at decent price, and I was loyal. I was a loyal customer to those two guys. The third guy, his weed wasn't so good. It was, I'd pull it off, and seeds would go flying. It would be in bricks, and it would be like paper thin by the time I pulled it off. I mean, that was some shiggity swag. That was some nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. That was the stuff that like the Yokohama tires. I named it Yokohama because it tasted like tires. Like it was shipped in a tire. It used to give me terrible headaches, but if I had nothing else, that's what I would turn to. So my idea of loyalty really comes from the quality, because in the illegal marketplace, in that gray area marketplace, we didn't have customer service. If we had bad weed, it's not like we can go back to them and be like, hey, listen, listen, it's not great. And I would really like a refund. I would like, to let me just check if there's any comments. Good. We have some. That's great. Still learning how to use this. Wait, obviously I'm not using it right. There we go. Let me just, like a pregnant cow. Oh, you like that pregnant cow imagery, but that's how I used to roll joints. So anyways, going back to the whole quality thing though, quality created loyalty. Again, customer service was never there. I couldn't go back with bad weed. If I found mold in like from that third guy I was talking about, the third dealer, his shit, I'd find mold. It was super cheap, but you'd find mold and it doesn't taste right. It gave me headaches. I didn't have loyalty. If he was like, look, I don't have anything, I was like, fine, thank you. You don't have anything. I'll drive 2 hours to go find something amazing. I'll go drive an hour each way and get decent stuff and deal with crazy dogs and a crazy dealer, but I'm going to get good shit. And I was always loyal to those first two people. So loyalty and cannabis. So on the legal side, and when I look at legal, I say medical cannabis, and where it has been recreationalized, I look at that as legal cannabis. I look at that as, okay, this is legal enough. Federally, no, but they're really not paying attention as much as they were. I mean, in Colorado, they shut down quite a few places. But anyways, moving along. So loyalty on the more retail, we'll call it the retail side of cannabis, is different because we have so many more choices that we don't feel like we're going to get pulled over. We don't feel like we're going to get eaten by the guy's dog or manhandled or raped or God knows what else. I mean, wow, some of the situations I've heard that people have been in because they were going to pick up cannabis. But not just cannabis, other things I hear were involved as well. If it's just cannabis, I've never really heard of a terrible situation. I mean, I've heard there's always terrible situations no matter what. And there's always terrible people no matter what. So that being said, cannabis only, I've never really heard of, tough people. It depends where you're buying. I mean, if I was really out, I mean, you go far back in my buying history, and say I had to go to a very seedy part of town, uh, the few times I did, the weed was amazing. I mean, like, look, the trip I had, I remember one time in Houston, my homeboy Solo and Abasi, and they're like, listen, we can get you some really good weed, but you got to trust us. And I was like, oh, of course I trust you guys. You're my friends. They're like, no, 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 listen, listen. You've got to trust us, yo. I'm like, of course I trust you. Like, okay, so let's go. And if my dad's listening to this, I'm sorry, Dad, and you're probably going to find out about some shit. I mean, my dad, he's going to be very angry. Why am I worried? I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm worried about my father finding out about that we stole his Jaguar. This is a long time ago, and especially where we drove, holy shit, he would have killed me. So me and Solo borrowed his Jaguar, and we were in the wards of Houston, driving between houses that were, oh, my device is overheating. If it shuts us off, I am sorry. Let me see if I can get the fan closer. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I just saw my device is overheating, and that's the last thing we want. Last time it did that. Okay. Let's see if that helps at all. Who knows? It might not help even in the slightest. Oh, no, here we go. Maybe it does. Okay, so we were in the wards of Houston, and we were driving in between like row houses that were really close. They're so close to the street that, I mean, the street seemed like, maybe if I unplug it, that will help. Okay. So with the street feeling like a really wide sidewalk, and we're in the middle of the street driving through, and there's all these people sitting on their. I'm back. Oh my God. I'm hoping this is working for now. Yeah, we're here. We're in. We're back. Excellent. That is incredibly wild. So the heat just killed my phone and knocked out everything. Hopefully everything's still going well. I'm just going back and double checking, making sure that we are still running everywhere we're supposed to be running. I don't even know what I was talking about. I mean, I know I was talking about loyalty. I know I was talking about the loyalty on the retail side of cannabis and why we have loyalty from the illegal side. And I think that's where loyalty in cannabis, so it also comes from the community. When we used to get together, we used to smoke and we used to tell each other who to buy from and where to go. So to me, that was huge. Like, to me, that was how we did it. You know, we got together, we'd find out where we're going to buy. So now that was a traumatic experience just now. I'm going to light this back up. Oh, wait, you know what we should do? Instead of lighting this back up, no, I should light this back up because it's an indica. It's keeping me calm. It's keeping me relaxed. Especially in a situation like that. Just now, my phone overheated. Normally, I would freak out and be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, of course, what can you do? So I just shut down my phone. I restarted. I got the fan. I put it on there. The indica kept me calm. I mean, I know that sounds silly. I know it's like, huh? Like, no, but the indica just kept me calm. It just relaxed me enough to where I was like, you know, I'm okay. You know, I can handle this. I can I can put everything together calmly. But that's an indica. Now, if I were smoking a sativa, I think I'd be very similar, just faster, more precise with my actions. Instead of fumbling, what you didn't see is I tripped over a cord. I almost hit my head. I was so, I made it look good. And plus this heat, oh, it's stifling. So let's get back to talking about loyalty. Loyalty, at least I hope that's what I was talking about. So loyalty in the cannabis industry, I think really does stem from the illegal marketplace. It's loyalty to quality, though. So now when we have choice and we have so many companies to choose from, so much product to choose from, what exactly is loyalty now? So loyalty is really now these large retail companies, the MSOs, the multi-state operators, the single state operators, your smaller bougie companies, giving back in some way to the community, to the patients, giving them incentive to have more loyalty for their brand, for their company as a whole. And so serendipitously, I'm in brand partnership with Goldflower right now. Yes, I'm in brand partnership. That's what I do. But I only do it for people I believe in. I only do it for companies that I would smoke. So I wouldn't work for a company where I would not use their product. That's where I refuse to compromise. In that, my life is work. But it's only work because I love cannabis. I wrote a book about cannabis that I still haven't published yet because I found out how expensive it is to publish a very small tabletop book. So that will have to wait until I'm totally ready for that financially. But other than that, I live, eat, and breathe cannabis. So when I'm working cannabis, for me, it doesn't feel like a job. For me, it just feels like a lifestyle. It feels like it just feels right. But in that, I'm not going to rep for a company where their cannabis is crap. I'm not going to rep for a company where their ethics are not quite there. I mean, I've worked for companies where they're working on their ethics, and I've worked for companies where they're trying to pull their shit together. And as a whole, and that's where I'm going to talk about loyalty. I'm going to bring that together. What loyalty do the companies bring back to the employees? Because that's one of the things we were going to touch on. We were going to touch on not the importance of it. We're going to talk about brand loyalty, consumer loyalty. Wait, that's not it. Look at me. Here we go. The employee loyalty, and of course, the education from the company back to the employee. So your MSOs, your multi-state operators, are offering continuing education and continuing education credits for their employees to learn more about cannabis and become more into the industry, so that for promotion, for future reference. So some companies give back in so many different ways. That's what I meant by how some companies can give back. Loyalty is a big deal. Moving forward in the cannabis industry, what can the bud tender do? When I say that, the bud tender is open. They can go from brand to brand or company to company because they're serving a product. But in that, when they believe in the product, they're not just serving the product. They are all about it. They live, eat, and breathe the company's values. So me working for a company, they've got to have values. They've got to have the possibility of change if they're not already there. And the company I'm doing a brand partnership with right now, Goldflower, great value, great internal loyalty from the company. The farm loves the flower, loves the company and its values and its people. The dispensary, the bud tenders, they're so excited about the future and the progression of the plant, but they're so excited for Florida to now have access to quality. So that was like the illegal marketplace. It was about quality. My loyalty was all about their quality. I think loyalty comes down to quality. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Price is a big deal, especially here in Florida, especially with this economy, especially with inflation. But I buy more shitty weed because it's shitty weed. I mean, I spend more money buying shitty weed. when I can spend the same amount buying good weed and good products, good edibles. Edibles are a big deal. You can, all right, so I judge all cannabis companies by two things, and it wouldn't be what you expect. So I walk into a cannabis company. One second, I'm looking at this nug and it's just sitting out of its container. So I got to put that back really quickly. Always put your weed away. Don't let your weed sit around and sit out, especially in this heat. It's going to dry it very quickly. It's going to grab all the moisture out of it. So put it back in its container. So really, it comes down to choice and it comes down to quality. That's where I think loyalty really plays a big part. And I do want to mention my brand partnership with Goldflower. They just released. I know it's serendipitous. That's what I'm telling you. This wasn't planned. Today's show was about loyalty, and I want to say just yesterday, actually today, really, it's on my LinkedIn page. If you scroll down a post or two, you'll see the QR code that you can scan and refer people. If you're a patient of Goldflower, if you're already signed up with Goldflower, if you're not, go sign up, get on the referral program, get on the loyalty program. You can let them know that I referred you in. Oren, just put down ORAN. But whatever, who cares? Don't even put my name, put a friend's name, put anybody's name. In that, you now have an opportunity to get paid back in a way from the company. So you're going to get loyalty points, but you're also going to get a $10 stackable credit. I'm not going to go over this too much, because I think it's awesome. To me, that's a kick-ass combo give-back deal to the community. But you're going to get $10 stackable on every person you refer in. Now, you may think, okay, that's not crazy. I'm like, well, wait. Here's the awesome part. We don't really give discounts other than your first and second, which is 25% off. We're not about discounts. We're about the high quality of what you're getting. Everything is organic. Everything is hand-trimmed. Every strain, every product line. And it shows. It shows in the bud. It shows in the quality. And when you smell it, and you smoke it, and you light it up. It's really quite impressive. So in that, $10 stackable, for some people, that can add up quickly. I know in some markets that can be used by medical assistants, by doctors, by a clinic as a whole. If you put down the clinic as my recommender, who's recommended me in, or a person that they designate, that way the clinic can try medication, without having to spend money. So your medical assistant can try the tincture or the RSO or the oral solution or the capsules without having to spend money out of their own pocket. Because a lot of times your medical assistants working for these doctors' offices, like your large doctors' offices that are out there, not naming anybody, but they're not paid crazy well. In this economy, it's hard to survive. And you want your medical assistant to be able to recommend medication to you. This is why I recommend this. Your medical assistant needs to recommend or try out the medication from different places. All these different companies have great offerings, but it's expensive because we're not subsidized by insurance. Buying medical cannabis, the government doesn't help us buy it. Instead, they put quite a few roadblocks where we have to purchase a license. We have to keep that license up to date. We have to pay a doctor every 7 months, a fee of anywhere from $150 to $300. Now, keep in mind, we are negating any taxes that would be charged to us, but still, we are racking up quite a cost to try to find out what medication works and doesn't work for us. So a program that Goldflower just put out, the influencer referral loyalty program, that's awesome, because it gives some of these nurses, if they're referring patients of their own free volition, of their own free will, but it gives them the opportunity to have stackable credits where when they go into a dispensary of Goldflower, for example, because they're the ones doing this amazing deal, they may leave not paying anything. And that helps them out on a huge way. And that's industry, that's community, that's coming back and saying, hey, we care. We want you to be able to try the medication and refer, what works, what doesn't work, are you using the RSO? Are you using it to turn it into a topical? I take Rick Simpson oil, and I turn it into a topical using almond oil. So I'll take almond oil. It's amazing. It absorbs into the skin like that. And I'll take like a few dots of RSO and like a capful of almond oil, and I'll pour that on. I can do it fresh, and I rub it into my arms, or into my legs, or into my knees, or into my hands, depending on where I'm dealing with pain, until it warms up a little bit. Now the pores are opening up in the medication. The RSO is able to get hopefully into the fat cells, and that's where it really starts doing amazing good. Things like that. You want to be able to ask your medical assistant where you get your medical card. How is this going to help me? Where is this going to work for me? How can I use this? They need to know by trying the different medications to see what works for their ailments. Because a lot of times, what you're going to the medical doctor for medical cannabis recommendation, they have some similar ailments. We all have some similar ailments. So the best thing is to ask your nurse, ask the people that are working the industry directly for recommendations. Ask me. That's perfectly fine. That's why I do this show, this virtual smoke session where we get together. I do this so that you can ask questions. You can ask somebody who uses on a regular basis, who's not high as a kite, who's not completely off his rocker. I said not completely off his rocker, only partially. But I'm it's silent lucidity. I'm able to microdose. I'm able to do regimens. I'm able to use cannabis to help heal some of the ailments that I have while aging. My arthritis, my neuropathy, my fibromyalgia. These are things that I have to keep in check the older I'm getting. And I use different cannabinoids or different strains. And I learned this through the bud tenders. So my loyalty also comes down to education. My loyalty comes down to that dispensary that's going to teach me something. That dispensary that's going to show me something. Look, that's what I also want. That's a big deal for me. I want to learn something I didn't know. And I want to learn it quick because, of course, nobody ever has time and nobody ever wants to be taught anything. But I want it to be useful. I want it to be now. So when I go to a dispensary, I'm like, look, what strain is going to help me with nerve pain specifically or bone pain specifically? What do you have that's high maybe in THCV or CBN, which would be an aged oxidized cannabis. And normally you're not going to get flower usually high in CBN at a dispensary, but you would get, say, gummies. I had a discussion with a nurse the other day, and I couldn't remember what it was, but it was these. I was going to show it again. It was a Wana brand. There was a CBG, CBD, THC. Incredible combination. So I just wanted to show that again. I forgot all about it, and there was a conversation from just yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, these awesome gummies. They're made in pectin. They're organic. They're natural. They break down very quickly. They work beautifully. Remember, it's always about the combination. You don't want to separate out any of your individual cannabinoids, like just THC on its own. Really, it's nothing. It's just glue. And CBD on its own is nothing because it comes out of your body in 3 to 4 hours. You want something to work together. So THC and CBD working together bonds to the body. THC is bonding the CBD to the body for much longer periods of time. Remember, it's the combination. We bring them together. Much like your individual cannabinoids, your CBG requires CBGA, THCAs, or CBDA. It requires all of it as full plant medicine. That's why I'm really big about rosin. If you're going to smoke anything, if you have to vape anything, vape a rosin, because that's the way to go. Because it's solventless extraction. Solventless, single stage solventless extraction is where they use a press and they're pressing it, and the cannabis is sitting in the middle. And it presses and squeezes it and applies just a little bit of heat and pushes out this really gorgeous, golden, beautiful rosin. And that's what they put in here. I mean, they clean out some of the particulates, but that is probably your more full spectrum, full-bodied, full plant medicine, as much as you can get in a vape. And really enjoy this one. Very clean, very clear. Doesn't make me feel like coughing. I feel an immediate rush of whatever it is, that we call it the high or the entourage. I get an immediate entourage from it. And I have to tell you, it's super, super lovely. I just want to really quickly thank everybody for coming to our virtual smoke session, our hangout, our talking about loyalty. I mean, we really haven't even touched on anything. I mean, when I say that, I start talking, and I really try not to get off of topic, but I obviously get very far off of topic sometimes. I try to bring it back around close to where I was. I mean, today we did have a catastrophe. The video dropped because the phone overheated, but made it back. Very excited. What we're going to do, we're just going to keep going here. Ooh, I can go with an orange bowl pre-roll. That's a neat pre-roll. I didn't do that one. That's not me. That was done by Goldflower. That's really nice, and that's part of their Heisman 34 Ricky Williams brand. It's really, really nice. So I've got the truffle aloha. We've got some orange bowl. As you see, I have a buffet. I really enjoy that. I like trying different things. That way I can feel how this one pulls me or how this one pulls me a little bit. And that's the greatest way to try cannabis. See what's working for you. See what's not working for you. So anyways, there was a lot of things we didn't really touch on. We're still going to try. We're just going to chit chat. And that's what this is. This podcast is a chit chat. So if I don't talk about something, I don't talk about it. I mean, we did talk about rewards and loyalty programs, and serendipitously, Goldflower just released theirs. So if you check it out, go into my profile. I'll try to post it on the chat as well so that it lives in infamy, and just easily scan the QR code, sign up, become part of it. And once you're part of it, you can refer others. That's it. Super simple. Done. Boom. Love it. Moving on. Education. Some companies are offering their employees education for free, and they're promoting their employees to complete objectives so that they are more educated. I was going to say educated, but so that their employees are more educated with the understanding of cannabis and its possible uses. The closer we get to Schedule 3, we're going to stop saying possible uses, and we're going to start saying absolute, guaranteed, proven medical uses of cannabis. But again, that will come with rescheduling if we get there. Like I told you in many other podcasts, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath and think it's going to happen overnight. It's not. So we were talking about education. And a lot of these companies are very transparent about their hiring process, about their promotion processes. Those are the cannabis companies that last a long time because those are community. Those are built by people that smoke and use, that are legacy and care about the patient and the plant. Profit comes when you care about the people and when you care about how the plant is served to them, how it looks, how it smells, and how it tastes. When you're a company that gives a shit about what you're serving, that's huge. Because most don't care what it is as long as they're making their profit. Most don't care as long as they get enough on the marketplace. And then some are transparent with education, with community and openness. And so that's a great MSO that can do that. And that's where I think loyalty from the consumerism side, the retail side, back to the consumer, that's loyalty. Brand values and ethics, again, that's all from the company. Customer service. To me, look, I'm a customer service specialist. I love people and I love handling problems. I love getting somebody from incredibly angry and about to kick their TV, rip things in front of them, whatever, to the most calm, gentle, understanding person you've ever heard. And that's what I do. I love that. And on the cannabis side, ever since we've gone retail, things have changed. Ever since we've gone retail, people treat those in cannabis with a very different attitude than we do on the illegal marketplace. On the illegal marketplace, again, you can't return your product, you can't complain, and if you do, you're not going to get any more shit from this person, especially if they have decent shit at a decent price. So you can't complain on the illegal marketplace. But here, now that cannabis has become retail, of course you can complain. You can take something back. You can be upset about the purchase that you've made. And in that, the consumer treats the bud tenders like shit. I mean, not all. I'm saying that in a very generalized term, but the bud tenders are treated like shit by the consumer. They're quick, they're mean, they're in a bad mood, they're angry that their rec isn't open. They're angry at the bud tenders for things the bud tenders haven't done. They're angry at the bud tenders for messing up their rec or delivering the wrong product, but you ordered the product. It's the bud tenders trying to help where they can, and they're dealing as quick as they can in a medical or recreational marketplace. But they're doing it because they also care. They can do anything. They can go work retail anywhere and be paid the same amount. But they do cannabis because of the loyalty, sometimes towards the company, sometimes towards the product, sometimes towards the industry itself. So some people will just get a job anywhere in the industry because of the loyalty they have towards cannabis. This is something that's a multifaceted discussion on its own. But the loyalty towards the community of cannabis, people will get into it and deal with the bad attitudes or the short tempers because people they want their medication. So they're going to be a little ratchety sometimes. They're going to be mean. They're going to be short. They're going to be angry. They're going to blame you for all the problems that the company you're working for has done or has changed or has implemented recently. All companies implement new things, change things all the time. But in cannabis, the consumer is super angry. So loyalty from your bud tenders is a big deal. And that's why I always speak of showing love to your bud tender. If you're capable of tipping them or showing them a little monetary value, love, do it. Give them a little something, give them $2, give them $3. If every customer does that, wow, they're getting a decent pay. Some companies pay their employees really well. Like here in Florida, there's a couple, I think there's like 2 that I can speak of that start their employees off at a fantastic starting pay. So that's not something that's ever an issue. And you see it in the energy, the excitement and enthusiasm of those employees. They want to learn more because they already see that the company cares a little bit more. Because that's how people want to have appreciation shown to them, through money. I mean, you work for a company to make money. So if you appreciate me, show me in money. And when you do, you see what happens to your employees. They're happy. They sell more. They sell faster and better and stronger. And it's like we're building the Bionic Man. But and then loyalty is quality. Remember, we talked about it, quality and consistency in that quality. I do want to mention there have been some great brands here in Florida where they came out of the gate punching. Whoa, they're doing fantastic. And now their quality has kind of dropped. But their prices haven't dropped, but their quality has dropped. I'm not going to mention, in this jungle of Florida, I'm not going to mention anybody whose quality might have dropped. I mean, because we have many flowers, but only the golden ones rule. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, that being said, but no, that's it. Quality and its consistency. And, the consistency really has not been there for all. Now, in the top 3 of Florida right now, there was a little ranking that just came out, and I just saw the top 3, and I agree pretty closely. That would be definitely the top 3 for flower here in Florida. From the list that I just saw, I would have to say I agree pretty closely. I mean, pretty neat list. Talks about concentrates and who's got the best RSO, who's got the best flower, who's got the best, rosin, and da. I thought that was a neat list. So loyalty are people putting out lists like that, talking about who's got the best flower, who's up, who's down, who's on the rise. That's what the cannabis community always wants to know and always wants to be a part of. So that's the loyalty that they have towards cannabis or towards the community as a whole. So we also talked about, the loyalty that, the company's going to have towards its brands as well. Brand loyalty, product loyalty, community engagement. This is a big one. Community engagement for me is these larger multi-state operators, these large cannabis providers, giving back by educating their consumer base, giving back to their consumers by educating them better about cannabinoids, educating them. By the way, just so you know, I'm packing the Puffco Proxy right now with the hash burger. Just super jazzed. Okay, we're gonna keep talking. So I think the larger MSOs need to show, oh, it's upside down. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Woo! They need to show their community engagement by educating the consumer. Wow. Oh, I'm in love with this batter. Oh, can you, I'm going to put it on. I was about to pass it to you and be like, can you smell that? I don't know if you can see that, but I'm sure you can see it. I'm shoving it right in the camera. And if you can't see it, that is super clean looking. That just smells heavenly. Wow. Citrus and pine are jumping out at me, but so fresh, like it's, wow, like it's coming from the pine plant, like it's coming from a ripped open orange. So that was just absolutely delicious. And I forgot what I was doing. Wow. Oh, community engagement. Yes. I think it's super important for the companies to pay back the community, not just sell them cannabis, but teach them about cannabis, teach them about the cannabinoids, how you can help lose weight, regulate diabetes, how people with dementia, THCVs, sativas, and CBD together can help rewire the brain. There's making tea, teach people how to make tea, teach people how to pack one of these properly. This is a Puffco Proxy. Look, when I do concentrates, I will use Puffco products because I like their heating elements. I like ceramic heating elements. I like clean. So, and again, I don't get paid anything by Puffco. They're not part of any kind of brand partnership at all. I wish they were. I love them, but they're not. And so, but their products are pretty great, even though they're a little expensive, but their products are pretty cool. So that right here, the Puffco Plus does concentrates, but so does this one. And this is a much more expensive version than that. And in that, we're going to take some of this batter really quickly, just a little. I'm using my keychain. I have a little stickity stick that I got from my G Pen. Now, do you see that? You see how much I have there? Isn't that beautiful? Now, just so you know, for those that can't see, and you're listening on Spotify, you can find us on Spotify or Podbean or Twitch or Patreon, or there's one with a D, or Facebook or YouTube, or of course LinkedIn. Here, LinkedIn, we're coming to you live. On Facebook, we're coming live. Facebook, forget it. I feel like I'm French or something. I can't speak. All right, I'm just so excited about this. So you see that? It's not a lot. It's just a little bit. And that little bit I'm putting into the Puffco Proxy, like so. I will just place it in there. Let it drop to the bottom. To the bottom, I say, excuse me, thank you. All right, it has gone to the bottom. And, I'm not going to touch that. I'll put that in a pipe later or something. That is just really, really pretty. Wow. Let me put this back on top of this. This is a little container that I got it in. And I like to keep mine in the freezer, so that when I do go to it, it's not all runny, it's not melted. Again, here in Florida, it's so hot. A lot of things we have to keep in the freezer. So again, I just loaded my Puffco Proxy, and we're talking about what the large MSOs, the multi-state operators, and these corporations need to give back to the community. They really need to do it in education. And some are. Some are out there at farmers markets and at the community events, at pickleball. Pickleball seems to be a big one everybody's jumping on, or skate park events. They're really trying to hit all the different demographics for cannabis, because the reason is cannabis is everybody. Under the leaf, we are all the same. all the same color, all the same age, all the same creed and religion. Under the leaf, we're all exactly the same. It's so hot. Oh my God. Okay. So anyways, it's like, doesn't matter how many fans you have on you, it's still super, super hot. So to me, that's loyalty from your large MSOs back to the consumer. That's it. Education. That's the best way they can do it. And I would like to see community gardens. I'm just going to point. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, with the proxy, there's nothing I have to do. There's just a little button that I have to press. That's it. Wait, I think I got to press it twice. It is twice. There we go. Now it's warming up. Okay. So you press it twice, and then when it buzzes, that means it's warmed up and it's ready to go. And then you gently inhale. That's so easy, so simple, so easy. That's what I really love about these things. And also, they're cleaning. They're so simple to clean. I mean, look, it's a two-part system, comes right apart, even while it's heating up. Ooh, that smells so good. We just put that back together very quickly. It just buzzed. Now, this is hash burger, by the way, from Gold Flour, in case you're curious. Super piney, like piney. Wow, so tasty. Lemony, piney, little spicy spice. So clean. So incredibly clean, so incredibly tasty. Oh, it's still going. Maybe I should let it go on its own like that. Okay, it just shut off. I take a very large inhalation, and I don't have to hold it in. I just forgot to let it back out just now. Normally I inhale and I exhale immediately, or short after. But just now I took it in and I was looking over at the camera and I started talking and I just forgot to exhale. And normally, if I would have held it in that long, the coughing fit for most products would have me on the floor. Not bad. Not crazy cough at all. And looking at the spent product, I don't want to tip it over because it could come out. It's loose now. It's in a liquid, more of a liquid form inside of the proxy. I will leave it there. And before it totally solidifies, I'll probably turn the pipe back on and take another session out of that. So that same little amount of concentrate of batter, I put in live rosin batter of hash burger. That little amount that I showed you on the camera, and if you don't see it on the camera, I mean, literally, it was the amount that, like a cotton swab. So the size of a cotton swab at the tip, that's the amount I put in. Not even, maybe even less than that. So that one amount, I would probably, on low, because I set it on low, I can probably get 3 sessions out of that without it being terrible. And then at the end of those 3 sessions, I take a Q-tip, of all things, open up the top and just swim it around, and it's super clean. And I put it away. That's what I like. I like devices that I don't have to clean forever. I like devices that are easy to turn on with one button. I like devices that work like they should. I can taste the terpenes. I can taste the cannabis. I'm getting that beautiful entourage from it. Wow. That's body lovely. That's what that is. So again, I actually want to, again, I like to mention this every show, but I don't get to smoke like this every day. That would be amazing. Like all day, every day, Oren gets to smoke like this. No, just during high and empowered, because I'm high and we are all empowered in our own way. Hopefully the show gives you a little bit of empowerment, education, understanding about cannabis, about the cannabis industry, because I talk a lot about the industry and about the people and about educating it, because I feel this is the future. I mean, I feel delivery is the future. By the way, I do want to mention Gold Flour delivers to 18 counties. I know. It's a brand partnership, but you should know about this. Same day delivery. That's hot like fire, yo. That's what I wanted. Whenever I looked at this industry and I looked at the future of it and the legalization efforts to, to have cannabis for all, it was for the eventual home delivery because we live busy lives. And I want to open it up like a pizza and I want to be like, oh, that's what I want. When can I have it? This time? Perfect. That's how I see the future of cannabis. Totally in delivery. You call, you order, it's delivered. That makes me even happier, especially here in Florida, where I would not have, look, I'm sweating, I'm drenched, where I wouldn't have to get out of the house. I can stay placed right in front of my AC, not moving, just sitting there all day going, oh, when is it going to be my 2 weeks of winter? Oh, 2 weeks of winter. And then you start thinking about 2 weeks of winter. Yeah, not leaving the house and having it brought to me. I like things being classier, a little more. Instead of cheapening my product, I want to elevate it. I want the best product on the market, and I want it brought to me. Now, if I have to go get it, I have to go on an adventure. Okay, abso-freaking-lutely, I will go on an adventure for good cannabis. So that's also loyalty. That's a difference. Like regular retail shit, I'm just going to order it from Amazon. I didn't mean to give a plug to them, but whatever. Or I'll order it from Walmart. See, I gave a plug to them too. And it will be delivered to my house. That's regular. That's not loyalty. That's just convenience. That's like, I don't give a shit. But cannabis loyalty, I will get in my car. I will drive 3 hours for quality. Now, I won't do that all the time. I'll do that every 2 months, every 3 months, as part of an adventure. Because here in Florida, we are also gifted with some beautiful, mystic, enchanting, magical spots hidden all over Florida. And if you haven't checked out Florida, or a map and one of those lists that you get emailed or that are on Pinterest or the TikTokers, and you see, oh, the most amazing places in Florida, click here. They really are. There's amazing gardens, botanical gardens, herb gardens. There are the manatees, the sea cows, and they are majestic. There are gardens and parks and places to search through. I like to bring my phone, my Google. I Google everything, and I'll here on my land. I have 6.897 acres. I don't know. I should know, but it's right there. And me and my daughter will run around constantly and find different plants, interesting plants, and we'll take a picture and we'll do research into these plants and we'll learn about their medicinal properties, their different values. Like we have cattails down in the pond over here, and we had a beautiful pond that I cleared out and had it open for years. And then at the beginning of the year, all of a sudden, we saw these things growing. Like, what is that? What's growing in the pond? And they shot up, and they're cattails. At the top of them, they get this brown, looking like a corn dog, and then it explodes. And they spread their cattails everywhere. Now, most people would have been angry. I was angry because it destroyed my pond. But it didn't, because it brought new adventure. So from the cattails, there are medicinal properties. You can eat the interior stalk. You can use them to make a rope. You can use them to make baskets. So I've turned it into more of a project, more of a project, an adventure project. So I'm very big on taking adventures. I'm very big on exploration. And I will explore Florida and try cannabis I haven't tried before. I'll try a company that was down south because I'm up North Florida, central North Florida. And some of the variety of cannabis offerings I don't get because they're down in the southern marketplace where it's a little bit more congested and the demographics are a little different. With that being said, what a lot of these large companies don't realize is that the demographics where I live, the money's even better. Now, I say that That's Daytona, that's Jacksonville, that's Gainesville, Ocala, Lake City. Lake City. That's a wonder of wonders. Not everywhere. You got to be very careful where you're positioned. You got to have the easy in and easy out at a good location. And not a big location. Don't spend a lot of money on it. A small satellite location where two people could run a store. But of course, I'm sure you need a third. Switcheroonies. I'm telling you this because we can make it more cost effective. Instead of building massive, gigantic stores, we build easy to use, classy, authentic stores. And so that's really lovely. That is so, do you see how light that is? Now it's a live rosin, that's batter. I'm doing that from a concentrate device. I'm not doing a high heat dab, I'm doing it on low heat. So I'm assimilating those cannabinoids. But I really think a lot of the stores can go smaller and more ease of access, especially when hopefully rescheduling happens. Maybe we can get more delivery options. But again, the future of this industry is delivery. And I like it classy. I like this being treated like we would treat any other product. That to me is a big deal. You know, don't make it different. Don't be, because it's cannabis, let's treat it like shit. Let's super discount it. Let's devalue it. Let's show up in t-shirt and jeans. No, this is cannabis. I'm gonna pay for good shit. Treat it right. Treat me right. And you get my loyalty. Treat my cannabis right when you grow it, love it, sing to it. You get my loyalty. Bring it to me for a decent price, but I want super, super quality. I want shit you can't get anywhere. You've got my loyalty. That's how I look at loyalty. That's how I look at cannabis. And educate. Teach me. Show me how to use the devices. Teach me about CBD and its full spectrum and THCV, the extended hydrocarbon. Teach me about CBN, albeit a bone growth stimulant, not so quickly, but maybe one that can help stop the degradation process of things like osteoporosis. Yeah, you heard me. Woo-hoo-hoo. Big stuff. But that's it. Educate me. Throw shit at me. Bring me in more than just a consumer. Bring me in to the community. You become the community that we don't have really anymore. We get visit festivals or events, but that's partial community. That's temporary community. We need something on a larger scale. And now that we've gone retail, we look at the corporations, the MSOs, the not just multi-state operators, single state operators as well, as our community. We look to you for the education. We look to you for the camaraderie that we are missing from our smoke sessions when we used to get together. COVID took that away from a lot of people. A lot of people don't do it anymore. A lot of people still do, I understand. But as a whole, I've noticed it as no. And people become much more recluse. So we look to our cannabis companies to bring us together, to keep us together, to be community with us. We want that. We want you to love the product. We want you to love us. I think that's loyalty and the progression of it. And that's the difference in cannabis and any other product. Any other product, I would not drive necessarily 3 hours across Florida in the heat, through jungles and alligators. I mean, no, I haven't. No, I'm laughing like that. But I have like a 7-8 foot alligator right out there in the pond. Just the other day, my daughter was out here standing, stretching, doing something, I think with the dog, and in the brush, maybe 5-6 feet away. One eye was right there. One eye because I shot one of his eyes. I shot one of his eyes out and he ran away. And that was a couple of years ago. And I thought he didn't make it. But one eye is back. I feel like Peter Pan. Didn't that alligator have only one eye, or the crocodile have only one eye? I think so. But yeah, and I'm terrified walking around at night lately. That's why I've been mowing the grass everywhere. I've been opening up all the low brush so there's no alligators that can jump out at me. But that's Florida. But for good cannabis, we will drive the long distance. At Asher's Finest Rosin, we had him on the show, and great guy, awesome guy. And we were talking about, he will drive 2.5 hours to stock up on good cannabis because where he lives, he can't get good quality product. So he's got to drive like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and then he's got to drive that back. So it's not just 2.5, 3 hours. It's like a 5-6 hour journey. I will make a 5-6 hour journey for good cannabis, but I'll mix it in with something else. I mean, I'm not going to just I'll make an adventure out of it. We'll go to a dinosaur park or find some conveyor belt sushi. I'm really excited about Tampa. Tampa's got me on fire because I've been spending a lot of time in Tampa because of the future opening of a Gold Flower in Tampa on Dale Mabry. All right, I said it. Great location. Wow, just glass building, really gorgeous, very classy. Super access in and out. But I've been in Tampa a lot, and I heard there's a huge aquarium, like one of the best aquariums in the nation, in Tampa. And I love aquariums. I love it. I get lost in those places mentally, but in a good way. And I love bringing my kids to aquariums. And so I need to go back and make an adventure into Tampa. And while I'm there, I'm probably going to stop, at one of the closest Gold Flowers, which they have a few in the area. I think there's one in Largo, Bradenton, St. Pete just opened. That is a bougie, artsy district. And the store, that's how stores should look. Very modern, very sleek, very bright, very elegant. It brought a sense of community and elegance to the product. It just made me feel cool walking in there. And the staff was cool. Everybody was so cool. I enjoyed that so much. So anyways, that's St. Pete store, just opened up. I think they've got one in Sarasota or Sebring. They've got one in Sebring. And I know they have talks of opening up in where I am. And that makes me super happy. Let's drive. But that's what I mean. When it comes to quality, there's loyalty. If you find good weed, you are loyal to that good weed if it doesn't change. So if the quality does not change, so if we stick with the consistency, we stick with the beauty of it, that's to me loyalty. And also I did want to say that, I wanted to talk about the future of cannabis jobs. Really quickly, just to touch on that and how that's opening up, hopefully with rescheduling, hopefully with education being, to me, a priority in cannabis, especially for recreational. And that's something I've noticed a lot of the brands in Denver have been doing. They've been implementing education into their recreational regimen. They've been teaching their customers a little bit more about the products. And they've noticed that the customers are purchasing differently. They're purchasing more. They're purchasing better. As in, instead of just buying flower, now they're getting concentrates. Now they're getting rosin. Now they're getting edibles that will work better for their system. Not all edibles work great. Look, there's oral solutions, MCT oils, for example. Just for example, MCT. MCT oils are in a lot of the tinctures and in a lot of the capsules. And MCT is medium chain triglycerides, condensed coconut oil. So you would think, oh, okay, super condensed coconut oil. That's not going to bother me or anybody else. If you have IBS, if you have Crohn's disease, if you have any gastrointestinal issues at all, and you are doing a tincture, and you're doing, like, say, a full dropper of a full spectrum tincture, or a tincture with CBD, or a tincture with a sativa mixture, however these companies do it, and it's MCT oil, be careful. If you have any stomach problems, any gastrointestinal issues, Crohn's, IBS, any of that, don't do those tinctures. Why? If you do very small amounts, you might be okay. You might get away with some serious gas pain. But if you do a full tincture, you can end up sending yourself to the hospital. That's the last thing we want with cannabis. And why? It's not the cannabis. It's the condensed coconut oil. It's the medium chain triglycerides. So that is affecting your gastrointestinal issues. And it will expand and it will be nauseating. It will be painful. It'll send you. I know. Why am I drinking this crap? This is gonna bother me later, and I'm gonna be like, why is my stomach hurting? Why am I bloated? I'm bloated because I'm drinking crap, and I shouldn't be drinking this at all. Actually, I have a tea. Let me be true. Let me drink my tea instead. Oh, that is delicious. That is actually really good. That is a nice sweet tea right there. Sometimes a nice sweet tea can cool the body down, cool the mind down, and just kind of set you straight. I do want to mention that not everything is about cannabis. The High and Empowered podcast is about you. It's about having fun with life again. It's about getting together as a group. Whether you smoke or you don't smoke, I don't care. We're getting together. We're just talking. Oh, there's a comment. See, I also swallowed a clock. So you know what you have. That is awesome. That is super, super awesome right there. But this is our chance to get together as a community. This is our chance to smoke a little, to talk a little, to get together, to be friends digitally. And if we can't have it in person, we can have it via. And those of you that are listening on Spotify, you may not think it's digital, but you're still getting me digitally. I'm still right there with you. I'm right next to you in the car, talking your ear off. I'm the guy that just doesn't shut up. I mean, I do. And then when I shut up, I don't say anything. To me, it's like one thing or the other. I will start talking. I mean, I'll go back and forth. I try to shut up. And then when I go quiet, like on a long car ride, people will talk. And then all of a sudden they just stop. And then I just look out the window. And I just face out. And I'm in this different realm where I'm at one with myself during a car ride, just for a little while. And people will talk to me, and I'm just out of it. I'm not even there. That's this extreme difference between me talking a lot and me just going quiet, going into monk mode. It's the extreme solar opposites that my personality can be. So, well, awesome. And I'm glad I can be company for you today. I'm glad I can be company for everybody who's listening later on Spotify and the Podbean. I'm gonna mispronounce everything, and we'll just go like that. But sometimes that's great to have somebody next to you while you're making long drives. I listen to podcasts and voice books, audiobooks. I listen to lectures. I've really been enjoying Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've been enjoying a lot of these space lectures and the what ifs and energy. And I'm a big conspiracy theorist sometimes, and then sometimes I'm a realist. And I really like to put one and one together and see there's reasons for everything, but there's conspiracies and there's reasons for those too. So I love to research, and the more you research, the more you learn. I think the deeper the rabbit hole opens, the more questions sometimes you have. There's some great shows out there I've been watching. Just in case you want to know some of the things I watch, the Skinwalker Ranch. Wow, if you're not watching The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, you need to stop what you're doing right now and go look at the History Channel and watch The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Just wow. And start from the beginning. Don't skip anything. You want to go through it emotionally and learn about this show. It's amazing. Also, The Curse of Oak Island. That's another show. I just want to mention that. Curse of Oak Island. That's amazing. And that's been years in the making. They've been leading me on for like a decade, more than a decade. That show has led me on looking for treasure. But that's how we do it. We get together here. This is our community. This is our talk. This is our hour and a half of chit chat. You can smoke. I can smoke. Nobody can smoke. It doesn't even matter. It's not even about smoke. I happen to talk about cannabis because I have a high educational background and knowledge in growing, cultivation, extraction, curing, aging, um, cooking. Did I say cooking? It doesn't matter. Cooking, smoking, recommending, regimenting, teaching. So in that, that's why I talk a lot about cannabis. But we could talk about other things because it is about the empowerment of the individual. It's about knowing who you are, loving who you are. That's a big one. We don't take out enough time for ourselves. We don't love ourselves enough. We should ask for that raise. We should demand it because we're worth it. Make sure you have another job before you do that, or at least you have something lined up just in case shit hits the fan. But love yourself, appreciate yourself, know your worth, and fight for your worth. You are the most important person in your life because without you, well, then your life is done and it's over. And you want to be in control. Let go of a little bit of control and instead get on the end of creation. Create the day ahead of you. Wake up in the morning. No matter what that mood might be when you get out of bed, stand there immediately and change that mood. Tell yourself that it's going to be a great day. Even if you're a little rubbly, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to kick some ass today. It doesn't matter what the hell I'm doing. I'm kicking ass doing it. If I'm mowing the grass, guess what? I'm mowing the grass. I'm mowing the grass, kicking ass. I'm kicking ass, mowing grass. Maybe it's a little too much with the grass and mowing. But I just mowed a bunch. That's why it's on my mind. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was so meditative. You want to laugh after the show. I'm going to smoke that orange bowl, which is just delicious. I'm going to smoke that orange bowl while cutting the grass. I don't even think there's any grass still to cut, but I'm going to go to edges that I might have missed. That's going to be huge. I'm going to go to the edges where I've missed. And I'm going to cut grass on this riding lawnmower. It's the most fun I've ever had. It's one of my goals in life was to have a riding lawnmower. I know, but small goals in life that I have. And it's a little tiny John Deere, and I love it. It is powerful. It's got a little hitchy thing on the back, so I can get a trailer, and I could pull things, and it just and it makes me happy. So when I said love yourself, I bought that for me. I could have bought a regular lawnmower and killed myself, but I bought a happy little John Deere. And that happy little John Deere makes me happy. That's me time. I'm on that John Deere. I'm smoking that joint. I'm enjoying nature. I'm looking at the land around me. That's meditation. Meditation comes in many forms. You don't have to be sitting in a house with music or crystal bowls going and but sound meditation is also incredible. A sound meditation bath is insane. There are so many different things that can be done. There was a sound meditation going on while I was eating, and the meal was so smooth. Everything was just so mellow. It can help shift your mood. Sound and vibration have incredible effects on the body. So as I'm riding on the lawnmower, it's vibrating around, and I'm just in oneness with what's around me. So take you time. Love yourself. Don't forget about you. Look, I work a lot, and when I work, I'm on the road incredible hours. So when I'm not driving, I like my glass of sangria. I like my big hooter of a joint. You know, I like my me time, but just a little bit because I also love my family time and sometimes a second glass of sangria. But that's it. That's me time, you time. You got to remember that. That's what high and empowered is. It's us getting together, just chit-chatting about me cutting the grass, smoking a joint. You should try it. It's beautiful. And that's maybe in some neighborhoods it's a little harder to do. If you're in the front yard and you got a neighbor right next to you and you're smoking a joint, and he's gonna look over at you and you're cutting the grass, and there you are in your underwear and your bathrobe, and you're just kind of waving at him. Right? I can see where that could be uncomfortable. Okay, maybe not that then. Try it differently. Go in your car, hide, wherever you have to go. Enjoy, take a few moments for you. But that's what high and empowered is. We want you to remember that you create your life. You create the path in front of you. You create your day. Whether it can be happy or sad, you choose. You choose. if you're going to be happy or sad. I choose happiness every single day. I deal with sadness. I deal with problems. I deal with issues. I'm not going to even tell you what happened in the barn the other day. See, I say it, and it's disheartening. We lost chickens. We lost some ducks because of a dog getting off of a chain. And now we have to discuss what to do about the dog. And we're not going to do anything like you think. We just have to find more ways to keep them. But then, what if I just can't today? You know something? There's a lot of dead days I just can't. I mean, like, just can't. I mean, I can't. Look, I've got 5 kids. I've got chaos around me at all times. I've got money issues of inflation. I've got gasoline for the fucking car. I've got quotas and this. I just can't. I can't every single day. But that can't be it. That can't be. And I don't want to say an excuse because they're not excuses. I know they're not. I have them as well. I deal with the same shit. I can't. The psychoticness of and the emotional crushing of my life is too much. But that's where you choose differently. I'm not negating my responsibilities or the depressive nature of things. I'm choosing to be happy, not about those things, but happy about life, happy about my day, enthusiastic about change, enthusiastic about what change I can do, what I can create, what I want. I want this. What's my path to this? How am I going to get this? I know you are. I know you're trying. I'm trying. We all are every single day. That's exactly it. We can't stop trying. That's what makes us amazing. The day we stop trying, what? We're giving up. What are we giving up? We're just going to stop breathing. We're going to stand there and go, okay, I'm done. What are you doing? I'm going to just stop breathing. Stop completely. I'm going to hold my breath. Shit's going to stop. But you're holding your breath. That means you're trying and you're doing something and you're forcing. And so you can try just a little bit more. You can do just a little bit more. Things can get terrible. I know some people's stories they can be heart-wrenching. And waking up in the morning, you want something to believe in. Believe in you. Believe in you. You are the energy and the power and the amazingness that you seek. You are the creation of your day. We don't believe in ourselves enough. We are afraid to talk to people. We're afraid to demand better. We go out to eat, we get food, it looks like shit, and we don't say anything because we're afraid of offending the cook, the maitre d', the waiter, the boss, whatever. Fuck them. Offend them. Who gives a shit? You're paying for it. Don't be rude about it. Don't be an asshole, but be solid in your conviction of what you want. Be steadfast in loving yourself and doing for you. We don't need anybody to make us feel whole. We don't need anybody to give us power for the day, to give us energy to live. We need us. We need to believe in what we can do, what we can create, what we are capable of. Magic. I get emotional about it because when I remember back when I cried that I couldn't make it another day, I dreaded the future of not having chosen what to do for a living or how to move on. I every day I'd get up and I felt like giving up. I felt like just didn't want to try anymore. I started talking to myself. I call it the daily affirmation, but it wasn't. I was watching this stupid movie with Stewart or someone. It was probably Stewart, and I was really high. I mean, I was smoking indicas back then, and I love sativas now. I'm a sativa man, but I'm sitting there. I remember watching this, and he was talking to himself in the mirror. um, everybody was down on him. He was down on himself, and he looked up and he saw his reflection, and he smiled. Believe in you. You are the everything that you need. You are looking outwards to help inwards, but you should be looking inwards. That day I realized that. It wasn't just the movie. I started talking to myself. You know, in the mornings I'd get up and I said, you create your day, you create your happiness. I would get up and it's like the first thing in the morning. You get up and you start watching the news. Shame on you. The news is terrible. The news is depressing. The news is gut-wrenching. The news is going to change your brain and chemically shape you to be afraid of life and afraid of living and afraid of people. So don't watch the news. Instead, go to the mirror, get some cold water, splash it on your face, and look at yourself. Appreciate who you are. Love yourself. Look in the mirror. Don't expect anything. Don't come up with shit to say. Just look at yourself and know. At first, you may not believe it, so you have to fake it till you make it. And I know the guys in Dualistic Unity, Ray and Andrew, or Ray, he's like, fake it till you make it. But no, this is what I mean. You've got to fake it till you make it. You've got to look at yourself and just start and keep looking at yourself. Believe that you're amazing. Believe you are capable of everything. Everything in the sense of universe creation, manifestation, fucking magic. Because that's what you are. You are a fucking miracle. You are nothing shy of a miracle. Every single day, every part of what we are is a miracle in any sense to any manifestation of energetic creation of what we think God is. You are the essence of stars. That blew me away when I heard we're made of fucking stars. We're made of more than what we think. We are more than what we think. And say that to the mirror. Say that to yourself. Believe in you. You have a meeting today. You're going to meet with a couple of, different companies. Talk to yourself in the morning. Be like, today we have important meetings. I believe in you because I know what you're capable of. I know what you can do. I know how amazing you are. So don't be shy. Don't hold back. Take a few chances in your life. What? The worst you're going to do, you're going to fucking fail. Big deal. You start over again. You have another client. Don't overdo your sale, so that means you don't fail. You don't overdo the sale, you don't fail. I just made that shit up. I don't know. Good stuff. But you are so important. You are everything. And if that's what you need to say to yourself, then say it. Believe it. Even if you don't, fake it and say it and do it the next morning. And then do it the next morning. And then do it the next morning. 10 seconds worth, 5 seconds worth, 20 seconds worth. But in that repetitive nature, you don't have to do it every day. And then all of a sudden, you don't have to do it anymore because you believe in you. You get up in the morning and I stand there right next to the bed and I stretch. And I'm like, oh my, it's going to be that kind of a day. And I'm like, no. I shake it off. I'm like, it's not going to be that kind of a day. It's going to be that kind of a day. It's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be adventurous, tasty, delicious. It's going to be a day that I'm going to relish. That's what it is. It's not me waking up saying, oh, it's going to be one of those days. No. Shake that shit off. You create it. You make it. Your vibe puddles all around you. And it affects everybody around you. If you are positive, if you are enthusiastic, if you feel the positivity of life, others are going to feel that around you. They're going to feel good. You're going to feel good. And now We're creating a positive gravitational effect, a positive vibe, a happiness vibe, a goodness vibe. Hold the door open for people, let people go before you in when you're driving, or let people in. Don't get right up on people's bumpers, whatever. Do the little something, do a little something, and it ripples. Show a little love, show a little friendship, show a little positivity to a situation, and it ripples. People feel it, people see it, and you become a transmitter of good vibes. And you may be like, oh, good vibes, yeah? Yeah. Whether you're smoking or whether you're not, who gives a shit? You are the energetic, vibrational frequency of change. That's what made me see things differently. That and mushrooms. No. I do believe strongly in the therapeutic effects of psilocybin in microdosing, small amounts, not doing a couple of grams and seeing God, or the matrix of time, the fabric of time, which I really think that's what the aliens are looking for. That's another show altogether. Believe in you. And that's what this show is. This is High and Empowered. We come together to empower each other, to love each other, to educate, to be community. And I am blessed by the brand partnership, by the community, by the family that consume me and help make my life, easy. Not easy. Not easy. Easy and not easy. Good and not good. But you approach the day with enthusiasm. With not, look, you have a death in the family. I understand you're depressed. Things are bad. You people, or you're sick, or there's so many things. I know. You're like, how the fuck am I gonna be happy? I can't feed myself. I'm hungry. I have no money. I know. Happy, positively. Don't just look at the negative of this day. Even if the day turns out to be shit, it's not total shit. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. So let's start making it better. Let's build from where we are. Let's not go backwards. Let's go and build. What are we building? We are building blocks of great energy. We are building blocks of enthusiasm, positivity, love, friendship. You build the right blocks and everything comes together. That to me is the first, that's how you start seeing. I saw it because I didn't see me. I saw the change in life, the belief in me, because it wasn't me. I'm not looking at me anymore. I'm not looking at my wants. I'm not looking at my needs. I'm looking at the whole of everybody and anybody of the world, of any kind of change I can leave behind, any kind of energy, resonance that I can, of good, that maybe I can help somewhere. I saw beyond me. And sometimes it gets worse. Sometimes it gets much worse. But we try to mitigate how bad things can get. We try to maybe stop the flow of bad. I've watched the degradation of problems go from bad to worse to, oh, wow, I didn't really think we could get there. And then even worse. Homelessness. My entire family, we were homeless on the side of a road in an RV that was broken. I broke it while coming down a mountain. And I happened to also run out of money at the time. And it was fucking cold. Wow, was it cold. Wow, was it cold. I was taking chances in life. I was trying to live life and be authentic and different and wild and free. And I had my whole family with me. And I sold the house and bought an RV that I broke while coming down Maggie Valley. If you know where that is, in Cherokee, North Carolina. I was coming down the Maggie Valley mountain, which is not supposed to have trailers and bullshit like my vehicle. If I had only read the sign properly and gone the longer way, things would have just been perfectly fine. but still didn't have any money at the time. And we were rolling in, and I broke it, and the axle busted through the unit. Stranded. Nowhere to go. That wasn't the only time we were stranded too. Once we were stranded on top of a mountain, Timmins Mountain in like Pennsylvania area. And it was so high up. And when you got out of the car, there was these little black and red spiders. Holy shit. That was like the worst thing ever. We were like at the precipice of this mountain where we broke down. Anyways, but this coming down Maggie Valley was like the worst. And it was twisty and turvy. And we were like, yeah, like it was awful. And by the grace of God, we were able to pull into this campground where I ended up working for a couple months just to get us back on our feet from absolute poverty. And that was my doing because I had put us in that kind of situation. But it wasn't my doing because it was also the economy. It was one thing doesn't work out, another thing doesn't work out, then things tumble into a tornado of events, and then you realize you have no money, no home, and kids to feed, wife to feed, dogs to feed, and chaos. So what do you do in that situation? You take a deep breath and you realize you have to get control. If you stress, you bring more stress. If you sit there and worry and panic, you create more worry and more panic. The only thing stress brings is more stress. So stop, take a deep breath and believe in yourself and pull yourself out of that situation. Pull yourself out of that problem. Find the solutions, find the answers that you can do. I was still a member of AAA or the other one for RVs. And they already didn't like me because I had already broken down so many different places. But I was lucky enough to get one last ride out of them over to this Happy Holidays RV park in Cherokee, North Carolina. And both the most amazing place and the best of times and the worst of times. But it's what you gain from it, and it's how you look at the overall situation. Things were bad, but we were brought to a point where we could start over. And you can always start over no matter how bad it gets. You have the opportunity and the resources through the state, through the city. You can utilize them short-term, long-term. And there's no shame in any of them because the economy is terrible. The government is terrible. The inflation is terrible. The company is paying the same that it paid employees 6 years ago, pretty much. But the cost of living is through the roof. So, what do? You find another way. You find another means of income. You do an extra job or you make something and you sell it. There's some great things on the TikToker. This one cat is like, you can make $1,400 just with a 2x4 or a 4x4, or it's one of the buys fours, and it's wood. So, and I was like, really, $1,400 from a $10 investment? I have to watch this thing. All right, you're gonna get this piece of wood. You see this in the store? This one right here, it's a nice one. Just go ahead and bring that one home. All right, now you're gonna bring that thing home and you're gonna cut it. You're gonna first mark it all the way down. You're gonna cut it. So he's cutting coasters out of it, and then he's sanding it. And some of and it looked, and then he's branding them. And now you're gonna go ahead and get your brander, and you're gonna brand it. You can do these custom for the companies if they want to do it, but these are coasters. So sometimes I make more than $1,400. So I was like, oh my God, what a great way to make money. But then, do I have time for shit like that? No, I'm not going to get the. And then the way I would cut it, it would be like all off, and you'd get it, and you're like, does the coaster really? No cup will actually sit right on it. Everything is like sliding off. But by believing that you can do it, you can grow plants and propagate them and sell them on the weekend to make extra money. And plus, it's a lot of fun. I had the angel trumpet. I have my kids do it. So here in the land, I started with one plant, and it's an angel trumpet. The angel trumpet is a nightshade. Nightshade meaning it's poisonous. You can make a tea that can make you really fucking high, but it can also kill you. So don't touch it like that. Don't lick it. Don't put your face all in it. Don't be like, oh, this is lovely. During the day, it doesn't smell like anything. At night, it calls to you. It's intoxicating. It's sweet. It's the mixture of vanilla and jasmines and just things. And you're like, wow. And it pulls you in. So you take cuttings from this once it gets large enough, which may take 2-3 months if you're watering it constantly because it loves water. Get wine bottles. I mean, I happen to have a few wine bottles laying around. And you take a cutting and you shove it in the wine bottle full of water. That's it. And sit it there. Try to make sure it's close enough to a node, know how to do cuttings. But it propagates immediately. And so from one plant, at one time, I made over 40 plants. 40 plants. That's great extra money just for fun. And it took me just like a couple hours in the weekend, had some fun, set everything up, made sure all the bottles had a full thing of water, made sure everything was rooting in the next couple of days. And that was extra cash. Believe in you. Look, if it's emotional, if it's relationship, if it's relationship, I'm not as open as I should be about the situation that I'm in and what's going on in my emotional world. Not that I'm trying to hide anything. I'm trying to be gentle about it. I think to me, probably not ready to get into that right now, but it's more to me. I don't talk about things because I think I'm still too emotionally hurt of where, see, look, emotion. I'm not afraid of my emotion anymore. If I cry, I cry. That's life. Fuck people if you can't handle it. That's where I am. Authentically trying to find the true me beyond social media, beyond the educating of the public. I want people to see Warren. There's a real person behind the videos. There's a real person. Not my life isn't fantastic. I live on a farm. I have ducks. I have chickens. It smells sometimes. My kids couldn't afford to live in the real world out there. It was hard. I got my twins. They're 20. My daughter in 8 days turns 18. My oldest daughter, my youngest ones. But they couldn't afford it, and I had to find a way to keep them here because I couldn't fit them in my house. It's so tiny. So I got RVs so they can live and save money and learn to prepare themselves for society. And yes, society is terrible, but we are society. We can make it better. Look, we wake up and see the worst of it when we watch the news. And we watch shows, and I love those shows. I love American Horror Story. That's awesome. I love what they've done. Love the creativity they brought to the table. But you have to remember at the end of the day and leave it there that it's imagination. And it's beautiful, but it's imagination. In the real world, we need more love. We need more kindness for each other. We need more openness. We're not open enough when we wear masks. We try to be somebody that we're not. We try to be always somebody else, because we don't like our own lives. Life is hard. Enjoy what you have. Be who you are. Make you better. If you don't like where you are, but you can't get out of that situation financially, emotionally, then better yourself. Better your understanding. Better your ability. Save. Research. Do things cost effectively. I bought my land here by owner. I didn't have the credit, and I couldn't get a bank loan, but I got a buy owner loan, and I gave a big down payment that I saved a bunch. That was all I had. It was everything. I chanced it all. And 7 years later, I have a little paradise over here of plants and fauna and fauna, of botanical beauties that my children run through and eat. Like just right down this hill, right over here, we've cultivated the wild blackberries, and they're growing for at least 2 acres, which is amazing. So every day I'll get buckets full. It's painful to go after them because of the thorns, but utilize where you are. grow it, nurture it, become it. Monty Don, he's an English gardener, and he talks about using the natural landscape and finding some of, like here in Florida, there's vegetables and fruits or berries growing. You just have to get the vines out. You have to cultivate it. You have to isolate it. I look at society as us, as you, as me, and it's what we bring to the table. It's the love that we haven't brought, the kindness that we haven't brought. Yes, COVID made us become individuals and isolated. It messed up relationships and emotions and physicality and everything. We need to be real again. We need to stop wearing masks. We need to stop trying to be somebody else and just try to be yourself. Don't even try to be you. Just be. Just enjoy. Just wear anything. Sometimes say anything. It's okay. Not terrible shit. Don't say terrible shit. Don't be afraid to curse. You have one life. You have one opportunity to get it all right and get it all wrong. We think too much to cover our words, to be gentle, to mask what we say so we don't hurt feelings. Stop. Stop hurting your own feelings. Stop hurting you. When I say love yourself, and this is, I think, what started my whole rant. Love you. Take time for you. Do shit for you. Be you by saying what comes to your mind. Even if you think it's the wrong thing, but you believe in it, or if you think it's the wrong thing in the crowd that you're in, then just don't say anything in that crowd, and go to a crowd where you can't say shit. I mean, and never in a bad way am I meaning any of this, or in a, derogatory way. I mean, like maybe politically, or politically kind of keep shit to yourself. No, there's no double standard. There really isn't. If you want to be politically loud, be politically loud. This is one life, one opportunity for you to speak, for you to love, for you to approach life with enthusiasm every single day, with love and positivity, no matter what the fuck you want to call it. Approach life with a vim and a vigor. Look, people are going to, it's a numbers game. It's like when I was growing up and it's about dating and talking to girls. And I remember we were at the roller skating rink, and I was a speed skater. And I thought I was the coolest shit. And I wasn't. But I thought I was. And I had these awesome skates that were super fast. So, and with the group of guys, and like, go talk to her. I'm like, yeah. I'm going to go talk to her when it feels right. I'll swing by. And you never swing by because you're nervous. You're nervous that she's going to say no. You're nervous that she doesn't want to talk to you. You're nervous you're not going to get her number. Why are we so nervous? Who are we nervous for? You have one chance to talk to those people, to approach that boss, to approach that girl and just say, hi, my name is Oren. What's your name? I think you're awesome. Just, great vibe. It's a good way to start. Be real about who you are. And realness happens. People want to talk. People are afraid as well. That girl that you're approaching probably is just as shy in different ways. Or that guy that you're approaching is just as shy in different ways. As confident as they seem on the outside, on the inside, we're all a mess. We're all just trying to pull shit together for one more day. One more amazing, wonderful, beautiful, special day. Every day is that. Every day you're breathing is that. Every day is your opportunity, your chance to be the most amazing person in the world, no matter how you may spend it. If you're the most amazing person in the world, catching up on soap operas, great for you. If you are conquering the world hunger, great for you. However you spent it, be amazing. Be you. Know that you're in control of it. You create the path. You create the day. You create your year. So that's what High and Empowered is. So thank you, everybody, for coming to the show. I hope that some of the shit I said helps somewhere. I really do. I hope that you can wake up every day and just smile knowing you're breathing. I know you might think, yeah, I'm breathing, but you know how many people are not breathing? Do you know how many people didn't make it to that next day? Do you know how many people are just not here? Every day we think about them, and I know that. Every day we see the losses because of famine and hunger and war. Every day you're breathing, it's a miracle. Every moment you have is a creative step to help save the world, to help make a difference, to help change in some small way, to create that positive ripple on a local level. On a small end, what can you do? You can bring love. You can bring kindness. You can bring understanding. You can bring a helping hand where you can, when you can, how you can. You can do whatever you can do and feel good about you. That's it. That's all we can do. We can look, that belief is in you. You've got to just wake up knowing that you are capable of all of it. If anybody can do it, you can do it. If anybody's choosing, you're the one choosing. You choose to be happy. You choose to be sad. When shit hits, I got the worst information. Yes, I was depressed. Yes, it brought me down. But I didn't let it keep me there. I understood what was happening. I leveled myself out. I wasn't exuberant. I wasn't a clown. I wasn't happy like, oh my God, I'm changing the world right now. No, shit's on fire. My life's a mess. Kids are hungry. Different situations. I'm just throwing them into one. Healthcare is needed. Don't have enough money. There's not enough gas, not enough pay, not enough this, not enough that. This person has passed away, and I've lost my friend, and health issues, my teeth, and you name it. I'm not going to let that keep me down. I'm going to create positive change for myself and others. I'm going to lift myself up, knowing that I'm strong, knowing that I'm capable, knowing that I can make change because I can do it. I am powerful. I believe in myself. I'm not happy. I can accomplish, though. I am not depressed. I'm not happy. I'm not, hey! Life is hard. I'm powerful. I create my path. I create my future. I create my way. We all do. And together, we've created the world we live in. So we can change it as well. We can make it better. More heart, more love, more kindness. I mean, really, if the whole world really came together, we could end homelessness. We could end hunger. Just saying. If we could agree that that's what we wanted. If we could agree that we wanted to change the world and end homelessness, end hunger for children, bring clean water to everybody as a world, to agree on just that would seem asinine that we couldn't. But there's still world hunger and homelessness and children dying. We create the positive ripple. We create the change. But it doesn't happen until you start it. It doesn't happen until you make it happen. Even a small step, even a small action. It's you. So thank you for coming here and listening to my rantings of cannabis and wellness and health and world-changing positivity, vibrational frequency, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what to call it. I call it Happy Flamingo Shirt Day. I just found the shirt this morning. I was like, I love it. I gotta wear it. Gotta wear it for today's shirt show. So for those of you that are gonna be listening later on the Spotify or the Podbean or wherever, and you can't see me, I'm wearing a lovely pink black shirt with pink flamingos and teal palm fronds. So fancy, very fancy. And that's how I'm going to approach the rest of my day. I'm approaching the rest of my day fancy. We just, oh my God, I've done 2 hours. I've been talking for 2 hours. And nobody was like, it's been 2 hours, dude. You're just like still talking. You know what I'm going to do? Next Wednesday. Here's what I'm going to do. Wait, everybody wait. I'm going to show you what we're going to give away. We're going to give away a ball. I can't show it because I can't get it out from here. We're going to give away a smoking device. I'll find out what it is. I'll advertise it on the Linky Winky and wherever I need to start advertising things on like the Facebooky and the YouTubey and wherever things are advertised. That we're going to give away. If you're a smoker, if you're a cannabis user and you have a medical card and you're here in Florida, wow, that's a lot of stipulations. We'll have to make that easier for everybody. Maybe we'll just ship it to you. I just ship it to you because it's not a medical device. It is a medical device, but it's not a medical device. You know something? No, I'll find something else. I'll do T-shirts and stickers and some other cool shit that is not smoking. It's not going to be a bomb. It will definitely not be a bomb or any smoking devices. Like a gravity bomb wouldn't do that, you know, or a deco beaker or something like that. We're definitely not going to do any of that shit. We'll do stickers and a T-shirt. So I'm going to put that together this week. I'm really excited. I will advertise it. We're going to do stickers and T-shirt. Stickers and T-shirt and some really cool shit. I'm really excited now. Now I can barely contain myself. So what we'll do in the comments of next week's show, so if you're able to comment, and I guess I need to pull up Linky Winky, because if you're commenting on LinkedIn, I don't see it here on the restream, because I know it's there. So I'm just going to go quickly look there as we speak, like right now, as we are talking. And let me just pull it up and see what's happening here and see if there are comments. And so if there are comments there, I will definitely try to answer the comments. So what we'll do, okay, from the comments section that I see here and that I see there, I will pick a random individual, and that person's going to win our goodie box with goodies, stickers, and T-shirts. So I'm excited for you, and I've never really given shit away. I did once when I was doing Relevant, which was another podcast series. Huge audience, and I mean, people got stuff. I gave things away quite often. So I'm really excited that I can maybe give something away here on this platform, because there's so many awesome things. No products, won't be any products, won't be any smoking devices. You know, it'll just be stickers, honestly. And if you're 21 and up, then we will contact the winner and we'll ship things to you. Non-smoking, just stickers. So that's it. Okay, I've been talking a long time. You guys have all been here. This has been amazing. I thank you so much. I love you all for spending time with me. And I can see, even though I don't know you, I know you. Even though I don't see you, I see you. I feel you. And even for those that are going to listen to me later, thank you. Thank you for pulling me up on Spotify. I'll post a link to it on LinkedIn, to the Spotify directly. Thank you for being a part of this high and empowered effort. Whether we have a guest or whether it's just me, I think you're amazing. I think you taking the time out of your life just to listen, to educate, just to be a part of a community, be a part of a smoke sesh, just to have me next to you while you're driving. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you guys are what makes me do this. What makes me talk for 2 flipping hours in the heat, in the Florida. I think the family thinks right now that I've had like a heat stroke. I've like fallen down or passed out. I don't think they watch the show. I don't think they watch this at all. My boys do. I think my twins do. They might be working right now, but my twins watch this occasionally. But that's it. And they're friends once in a blue moon. But yeah, they probably thought I passed out. Nobody's come to check on me, which is, I'm kind of nervous. That makes me feel like, no. Thank you. Thank you. You're all awesome. Really. I hope that you all have amazing days and weeks and months and years and everything ahead of you, because again, it's you that creates it and makes it and wants it. If you want better for you, then you get better, you take better, you demand better. You be the better that you want. You be the energy that you seek. You be the wisdom that you're looking for. Don't rely on anybody. Rely on you and be the magic for others. Oh, that's That's fucking deep. Occasionally, great shit comes out of my mouth. Occasionally, if I can remember what it is, I'll take little excerpts out and I'll put it back out there. But whatever. But that's it. It's not me. It's you. We are so connected. All of us are. We are energy and frequency and vibe and antimatter and the shit that makes up stars. So it's you thought of it. I thought of it. We did it together. And it's what you meant to say, you want to say, you think to say. You can say, you can think in a positive light about things. Even when shit hits the fan, it could be worse. Things could be better. So make them better. Think better. Already start putting your mind and your vibe and your frequency in that direction. And things do start to change. They take time. Sometimes things are quick. Sometimes they're immediate. Sometimes it takes months for things to fall together. 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. But they fall together. And magic happens. So you believe and continue to believe in your magic. And you can change the world. That's everything. So thank you. Thank you, all of you. And everybody have an amazing day. And again, if you have any questions, you have any thoughts, you have any ideas, on LinkedIn, you can message me. I'm Orrin Allen. If you want to talk on the show, if you want to talk about your product, about your life, about your story, about your energy, I love it. I love it. I want to be a part of your world as well. It doesn't have to just be cannabis. It could be anything that is world changing and not world changing. Anything that is community, that is love, that is all of us. That's it. All right. I ramble. Be amazing. Have a great rest of the week. We'll talk next week. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.